Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to dive into a crucial aspect of Tableau, which is replacing data sources. Now, this skill is particularly handy when you want to switch from one data connection to another without compromising your hard work. So let's get started. Here I have a Tableau workbook open. This is just a really basic graph that I created for the purpose of this video, and I've connected it to a simple data source, which is video game sales over here. Now, let's say that we want to replace this data source with a different one. In this case, I want to replace it with an updated version of the video game sales that has a little bit more rows included. I think it's 5 to 10 more rows of information about video games. And what we don't want is for us to break this beautiful graph that we have here. Now, what we need to do is first we need to add our data source. You can see here, there's a small checkbox here. I think it's a green checkbox, and this is telling you this is the current data source that you're using for this specific graph. So what we need to do is we need to add the new data source at first. And since we know that it's going to be a CSV file as well, we're going to click on text file. We're going to go and find the new data source. In this case, I think it's going to be in my desktop, VG Sales Updated. And we're going to go again to our sheet. Now you can see here that we now have VG Sales Updated included, but is not being used. So we're still using the VG Sales Outdated. We're going to do a right click. And from here, you'll see that you have different options. You have the refresh, view data, but what we want is actually replace the data source. So click on replace data source. Your current is going to be VG Sales. And now the replacement, that's what we added it, because if we would have not added this at first, we would only see this first one that it was about anime that I have here. We're going to click on VG Sales Updated. Now, this is a really important point here. This is not going to give me an error as far as I'm concerned, but some other times, if you are working with your data source and the data source that you want to update that with is not going to be exactly the same with the same columns, it's going to give you a pop-up message saying there's this column that does not match with your current worksheet, and you need to be just aware about that. Send an email to your IT team to make sure that no data is going to be lost or extra data that is not important is going to be added into your dashboard. Now click OK. You'll see nothing changed, but now if you look at the data sources that we have available, VG Sales Updated, it's going to be now with the green checkbox, means that it's going to be used as far as we know. And the VG Sales that we had previously does not have it anymore. So that means that we have successfully replaced this VG Sales with the VG Sales Outdated. And there you have it. You've successfully replaced the data source in Tableau without breaking it or trying to fix anything after. This skill is really, really useful when you need to switch between different data connections without starting your analysis from scratch. So